What up? Old school to new school. You need to learn though. There's only one school and we all gotta go. Cadillac. Oh yeah. Nice Cadillac too. Dusty though. Hey. What's happening, man? Hey, look. This is as raw as it gets. As raw as it gets. As you know, I'm Cartoons though, homie. From the Foundation Nation. Cartoon is not at liberty to discuss certain things. Me, on the other hand, I'm very much at liberty to discuss it. You know what I mean? I consider myself a revolutionary, but a revolutionary for right and not wrong. You know what I mean? When it comes to law enforcement and the people, we not always right. We're not always right, but we not always wrong. You know what I mean? We're not always right, but we not always wrong. You know what I mean? A lot of the times we be right, but sometimes law enforcement, they ain't wrong either. You know what I mean? Because our country could be just as bad as other countries. I mean, 10 times worse. I mean, we got it bad over here, we do, but we don't have it like other countries. You know what I mean? And that's based on our system. The way our system is, it keeps us from actually living like a lot of other countries. You know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of people love being African and they tattoo Africa on them, but they won't move to Africa. You know what I mean? I say it to you like this. You got a lot of dudes in the Inland Empire. They want to be, but you know, they want to be LA so bad, they tattoo LA on them, all kinds of stuff, but they won't live in LA. I had the privilege of I'm from Los Angeles, right? But I noticed the difference between LA and the Empire. I noticed the difference between the blacks that are born and raised in the Inland Empire and then the blacks that are, you know, and the people in Los Angeles. This is just my humble opinion. It's just my humble opinion. This is it, but we could always test my theories. You test my theories, right? But your opinion is not proving the answer of the theory. Like, you know what I mean? If I went and collected data from people I didn't know and asked them. So what I would do is ask dudes who, like LA dudes who are from like I would ask other nationalities, like a lot of Sureños and Mexicans and you know, IE people and whatnot. Do you think that Los Angeles gangs often tell more than Inland Empire gangs? Like, LA is a little bit more snitchier to me than the Inland Empire. They be snitching out they snitching out IE for real. You know what I mean? But in LA, them dudes be some real snitchy ass dudes. Like all them little different hoods, them niggas is real snitchy. Them niggas, there's always some snitchy stuff going on with them, and it's more so than Inland Empire. So you got some hoods like in the Inland Empire, they the type of hoods like they start shit, and then if you whoop them, they call the police. That's like the worst shit you could do. It's a lot of hoods like that in the Inland Empire, like that start some shit, and then you get on them, like y'all get to getting into it, y'all get to, you know, get the bumping, you know, like nigga, let's shake it, like bam. Soon as the bump, they start it, and then they call the police on you. They be trying to get you up out of there. You know what I mean? You from Los Angeles, you got to remember, you from Los Angeles, you not from where they from. You know what I'm saying? But like, for me, like where I be at, I don't be having those type of problems. You kind of like go to San Bernardino, kind of like to run into different stuff like that. And then you know what? A lot of brothers don't realize you setting up shop in somebody else's hood. Not too many people are okay with that. Like, and a lot of IE gangs are okay with some LA niggas coming and posting up. You know what I mean? But one time, a homie told me one time, he said, because I had a habit of like being in Pomona a lot and going to they would always invite me to all their picnics and all their little different stuff, putting stone and all that. Why you always outshining them at their own functions? You gotta stop outshining them, stop turning their parties out. When my homie told me that when I was a teenager, I stopped. He told me when I was like 19. I'm gonna tell you who told me actually. It was Gangsta Ed. Gangsta Ed, and it was Gangsta Ed and G Mike. Gangsta Ed and G Mike, we was at the park, then we walked over to the store. We walked to like the front part of 51st, like, cause they turned the whole park into something else. The park ain't even what it used to be, right? So boom. So G Mike talking to me, right? Cause I had pulled up in a new Cadillac. It was an old Cadillac, but it was new to me. I'm trying to make a lowrider out of it. I won't stop trying to make a lowrider out of an 83 coupe. So the homie like put the bug in my ear like, hey man, your name be ringing. He said, yeah, we the homegirls went to a party and the first name come up, do you know your homeboy such and such? You know what I mean? Do you know your homeboy, do you know your homeboy, And they like, yeah, you know what I mean, such and such, and it's your name ringing, you know what I mean? In other words, you gotta, be in your hood more than you be, turn your own parties out. You always, in other people's hood, and they'll vouch for you, but think about that though. You know what I'm saying? Now there's certain hoods in San Bernardino, IE is big, but the city of San Bernardino is something totally different. You see what I'm saying? So if you go like, say we was in Delman Heights, they'll let you, eat, let you breathe, you dealing with them and they see you as that, but like, just really just balling and they starving. Think about it. You came to my hood and now you eating, make it make sense. So I've learned that like long time ago, like a child, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't mind you being out here, but you know what I'm saying? You can set up shop and all of that stuff, and you can even have a mini hood out here, but like directly where these niggas, like, this is like where they be at, it's gonna be, it's gonna be conflict, you know what I'm saying? And then it turns into LAI thing. But what I noticed, certain hoods in IE, so they'll start some shit and then call the police on your ass. That's a lose-lose battle, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a lose-lose battle. They gonna get you up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go to jail, lose your apartment, lose your place, and all that other stuff. They really gonna do that to you. You know what I mean? But in Los Angeles, I learned that some real snitchy dudes. They be even snitching in jail. Like you ever been snitched on like to your face? Like them some real like snitchy dudes. They like you like even the jailhouse like it's the LA County jail ain't like West Valley. It ain't like CDC and all the other little, you know what I mean? West Valley is nothing like that. Like, you can't go to the sheriff in West Valley and be like, I got a homie over here in 7 unit, I need to move him over here to 6 and 5. They ain't gonna do that. They gonna look at you like, huh? No, man, your homie's gonna stay over there and you gonna be over here. You know what I mean? They don't do no moves like that. Even the people, like, when you have a job, like, only way you can get a job in there is if you, like, you know what I mean, you could pass out lunches until you go to court and get your case, you know what I mean? Till you finish your case, you can, pass out food, be a porter. But really, to work in the county jail, you gotta be convicted already. Like, you have a county lid. County lid is like not pen time. Like, you got 6 months. You know what I mean? You got 8 months. They gave you a year. Okay, they'll let you stay in the county jail and you be, a trustee. You be working and buffing the floors, or you be passing out the food and passing out the clothes. You can't, even when you got a job and you're a trustee, you can't go to the custody captain like, hey man, I got a homie in 5, man. You gotta get him over here because he all by himself. And I'm like, yo, homie better learn how to fight or get him a knife. They're not gonna just move your homie for you like that. They don't really deal with inmates like that. Like, they don't really, you know what I'm saying? They don't really do favors for inmates. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't really do favors. You asking the police for a favor, and you gonna get your favor. Like in LA County, they do favors for inmates. Like, you know what I mean? Hey man, I gotta have my homie pulled out of there, man. You know what I mean? Can you pull the homies out of there and put them over here? Like, nigga, you can really do that? Like, you can't do that in West Valley. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's enough of that. You know what I mean? If you ever been locked up before, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially in prison, you can have your homeboy move to your cell, but y'all got to go through a channel first. You got to go to the sergeant and go to the custody captain, and he gonna swap y'all out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna swap the celly that you got. Like, man, me and this dude ain't even compatible. I can just move a homie in and then send dude over there and that'll be his set. Okay, cool. They'll make that switch like that on the basis of in prison where you on a level 4, level 3. When people ain't compatible, it's best that you do move them. Especially on a level 4, level 3, it's best that you move them dudes ASAP because somebody gonna get hurt real bad in there. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people come up dead every day in prison. They don't talk about it. Like like today, I say about a good 30 people died in prison today, and they're not gonna talk about it. Maybe a good 20, in all of California system. I believe a good, because a lot of ODs, those deaths, and then somebody being unalived, and then somebody committing suicide. You know what I mean? That's 24 hours a day. That's 24/7. They don't talk about it. Like even the podcasters don't talk about the suicide rate in prison. Like I had the privilege of being a worker. I cleaned up the visiting rooms at a level 4 institution. So at night I could come out and I clean up all the visiting rooms. You know what I mean? And I had a partner that could break into the machines and he would get all these gold dollars. You know what I'm saying? We split it between the two of us because I could get it back. He couldn't get it back, but I could. Because the lady that was working was a black lady. He was a Mexican. He was a short Sereno. He was from El Sereno too. He was from El Sereno. He was short, and he called me money because he hidden like a motherfucker. Like he stole all the dollars out of each machine. So we had a pile of gold dollars. You know what I'm saying? And we could either use them, put them back in the machine, and get stuff out, but we can't hide it nowhere. You know what I'm saying? That's real money. You can't hide that nowhere. So I took it back to my cell one day. You know what I mean? Because she never searched me. So a few times I come out of there, like when they take your stuff, I get your TV back. I get your tattoo gun. The homie Pokey from 8-8, he was working. Pokey had long hair. Pokey he had a gangland case. He wasn't in there for nothing other than some gangbanging. You know what I mean? And he had been down. He almost had, I think he had almost close to a life sentence, like 20-something years. So anyway, Pokey ended up working with me. Me and the Mexican dude hitting so hard, Pokey say something to me because I really wasn't talking to Pokey too much. You know what I'm saying? So Pokey like, let me holler at you. He was like, what's up? He like, you and that essay doing a whole lot. Be careful. Like, you know what I mean? And he was like, man, you know what I mean? Kind of like hook it up, like, you know, because Pokey can tattoo, and so Pokey, like, you know, he came up on a couple of tattoo guns and a color TV and some more stuff, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I made the mistake of I took the money home. I mean, not home, but to my cell. Boom. My celly got life. My celly got 38 years of life, but he already been down like about 16, going on 17 years. You know what I mean? He said, what's this, man? He said, what's this, man? I said, money. He said, I know what it is. You got to get that out of here. They're going to put us you're going to have us in the shoe. I'm like, they put us in the shoe for this? He said, oh, man. He said, look, you can't go to yard, nothing until that's out of here. Yeah, man, you finna go. He said, boy. I said, don't even trip. I'm finna figure it out. He said, that's where you been getting all that food from, huh? Because I bring him pizza. I brought him food he ain't tasted in years. I brought him food. I brought him ice creams. He ain't had ice cream, real ice cream, like the Nestle Toll House cookie sandwich, ice cream sandwich and all that. I bring all that home, bottles of Dr. Pepper. I don't drink soda. He had a whole bunch of bottles and ice cream Snickers. I brought all that stuff back, right? Eat up. The big ass cheeseburgers, the big spicy chicken sandwiches. I brought all that stuff. I brought all the bomb burritos all back, right? So you got to cook the way we cook. We boil most of our stuff. We don't heat it up in the cell. We don't really do stuff around the toilet, like the sink in the toilet. That's for like, you know what I mean? That's what you bathe in. You don't really cook in it. So we got personal buckets and different stuff like that to cook in and boil stuff. So, you know what I mean? I would bring him stuff every day. So he getting spoiled now. Like, you know what I'm saying? He eating outside food. So get caught. where we gonna throw the rappers away at? Up in the big trash cans in the day room. So Hood from Six Deuce Diamond, he's a porter. He from Fresno. He was, he in there, having fake money. You know what I mean? That's what he's about. So he like came to my cell door. He like, I don't want to be in your business, but it's a whole lot of rappers in the trash all the time, and the COs, they don't be eating that food and bringing that food in here like that. I was like, I ain't thought about that. He was like, I just want to buy some candy. I had the big Snickers. I had a whole big old bag of the big Snickers and all of the big candy and stuff from out of the machines. And that donut. Now the donuts, Marcelli will tell you, I bring back about $50, $60 worth of food on an everyday basis, maybe 70 sometimes. Plus I got the money. But don't mess with the donuts like that old-fashioned glazed donut and that blueberry donut. I bring that back, bam, right? You know what I mean? So that's mine with my coffee. I always eat the coffee with the donut, you know what I mean? So people be wanting to trade. I got him together. I said, man, I'll get you together. Boom. Shot him like 3 Snickers under the door and one chocolate donut, because I don't do the chocolate. I do the blueberry, and I do, you know what I'm saying? I do the old-fashioned. Big old donut, and I ain't going in the big cheeseburger. Now that you can't have those. Everything else you good. So I got tired of being in the cell, so I decided to take the money with me to work. And I told the essay partner, I'm like, he's like, money, what's up? I said, man, I got all this. He said, damn. I said, I ain't gonna spend it without you. He was like, damn, I can't take this back. I said, why don't we hoop it? He said, that's a mean hunk of change. He was like, we can't hoop this. I was kind of thinking you would hoop it. He was like, that's a mean hunk of change, money. It was a big ass thing of I'm thinking we could just stack it and roll it. Nah, he like, we gonna have to just spend it. I was like, how about you stash it? You stash it, and then we just, every day we come, we buy something. Plus it's the food that they leave when the visits is over. Like people buy like so much, like $40, $50 worth of food, and they visit only like 8-10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So they got too much food to just be all piled up. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, man, again, somebody, hit me up about nobody being bigger than the program. I'm finna set the record straight. Like I said, stuff Cartoon can't talk about, but I could talk about it. It's stuff Cartoon can't talk about, because Cartoon is an original, to me, and always will be, is an original Crip. A legendary Crip. I heard stories about him before I laid my eyes on him. Like before I ever met him, like, cause he raised my cousin. You know what I'm saying? So my cousin and him, my cousin emulates him. So the person that my cousin is emulating, I got to actually meet where he got it from. You know what I'm saying? Cause my cousin's was a young rider. And he got it, like the way Cartoon talking, the way my cousin talked, I was talking like my cousin Cartoon talked. I mean, I was talking like my cousin, and my cousin talked like Cartoon. So you got me, you got Lil Stiller. Lil Stiller talk like Cartoon. I be talking like Lil Stiller sometimes. You can't tell, I'm like, well, they sound the same sometimes. So when I finally meet Cartoon, because he always in and out of prison all the time, you know what I mean? Y'all always ask about Crazy Ray, and y'all got a lot of questions about Crazy Ray. Y'all got a lot of questions about Crazy Ray. A lot of questions about Crazy Ray. But first, we gonna cover nobody being bigger than the program. Because y'all be wanting people to get their ass whooped, right? Y'all be wanting to see. That's what y'all, yeah, bloodthirsty ass people, right? Let me shake you. Let me shake you up a little bit. I'll shake you with any nigga. And I want y'all to record the shit. Y'all so lame. Y'all let the coward tell y'all, man, you ain't no cameras in the hood, this and that, because they don't want you to see the nigga get his face socked up. I don't mind getting my face socked up on camera. I want to watch the fight so I can see what I work with. So when you shadow box, boom, you can only improve by seeing your mistakes. See, with boxing is a little bit different. With fighting is a little bit different, because you have to have the confidence in your skill. But when you watch yourself fight, it's a totally different thing. You say, oh my God, I dropped my right too much. I got to work on that. I got so much to work on. Because boxers are overconfident. Every time a boxer gets in the ring, he's overconfident. Like, man, I knew I was faster than he was. You ever heard an interview from a boxer? I knew he wasn't as fast as me. I already knew that. And his right hand, that's where all the power is. But his left, he's very inaccurate with his left. So I knew his left wasn't going to be a problem. But his right hand, as you can see, it caught me a few times, and I got to work on that. But I knew he was never stronger than me. I knew he wasn't going to outlast me, and that's why I overcame, and I'm the better fighter. I proved that tonight. I'm the better fighter. Yeah, but once he watches that tape, he gonna see exactly where he lacked. And so I want, my fade. I want my fade recorded. I don't want it for no damn points. I'm gonna get 1 million views, but not for every million views, you should get $5,000. Do you know? Can you imagine what people would be doing to get views now? This shit is for free. This is for free. You see what I'm saying? So I want my fight recorded. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with, I see nothing wrong. Okay, like, damn, I'm totally lethargic. I need to speed up. My condition is lousy. You know what I'm saying? But another thing, though, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about just getting down with my set. I'm talking about getting down with anybody from a motorcycle gang or whatever else. If that's what you want, what type of time you on. If you're trying to smear me, I most definitely want to deal with you. If you're trying to smut me up and smear me, I definitely want to get in. It's better than shooting you, because I could do that. I mean, it's shooting you so simple. You know what I mean? Especially if you're going to play by the rules. Like, man, I ain't calling the police, nigga. When we see each other, we just see each other. If you playing by those rules, then, I mean, why not just get to the gist of it all? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, just talking about piecing it up, you know what I mean? Call you out, nigga. Come on, let's shake it. You know what I mean? Let's shake it. What's up? You know what I mean? Deal with it. Now, that's the last time I'm going to say, you know what I mean? Because people keep saying, oh, nobody's bigger than the program. Nobody's bigger than the program. But tell your story. One day, and this story is a hell of a story, because you can't deny this story because it was on Facebook. You can't deny this story at all because it was on Facebook, and it was on Facebook Live. One day, Lil Avalon Blue was on live. He was on live at the park. He was on live, and I was talking to him on his live. And this was some years back. This got to be about, how old was I? Because I'm 49 right now, and I'm not ashamed of being 49. I'm going to be 50 in a little bit. And these still work. They have to work. You want to know why? I'm not going to allow the rest of society to put me in the grave and just make me, all slow. And, what happens to this? What happens when you go buy goldfish and put them in a tank full of Oscars? What happens? They eat until they full. And then whatever goldfish is left, you know what I'm saying? They survive until they get hungry again. I remember one time I seen some people buy some goldfish, right? Because they were my babysitters when I was a kid. They bought these goldfish to feed their Oscars. And it was this one goldfish that would survive. And he ran, he was chased, and he hid. And every time I came back, because they was my babysitters, it was my people, my people's people. The goldfish would be hiding under the filter. He started off this big, then got big, then got big, then he got too big to where he just fit in their mouth. So now they got this big ass goldfish living with them big ass Oscars. That goldfish survived. And I want to have that heart and that tenacity the brain that the goldfish had. He swam, because he can't come out and eat. So what he ate was what he could. And then he would go back high up under the filter system. Because, you know what I'm saying? Heaven forbid, you know what I'm saying? And that fish, you got to imagine what his heart was going through. Being chased to death until he could stand on his own. So what y'all do is, oh, you old nigga, man, I'm too fast, I'm too strong for you, I'm a young nigga. You keep thinking that. Fighting is for survival. Unless you get paid to do it, then it's a sport. See, there's rules. No eye gouging, no elbowing behind the head, no choking, you know what I mean? Things of that nature, or whatever the case may be, there's rules in whatever you talking about. But in surviving, there are no rules. You're going to lose an eye. You're going to lose an eardrum. You're going to lose a testicle. You know what I mean? your equilibrium is going to come off. Somebody might lose, you might puncture a lung or a rib. You know what I mean? You might have internal bleeding. Have you ever fought somebody then went to use the bathroom, and when you use the bathroom, take to 4,080, you boo-booing, and then when you wipe, a whole bunch of blood comes from out of there. That's because you got internal bleeding somewhere. That's either your kidney, something, man, but some got rattled in that situation. You know what I mean? I done had a fight with a person, didn't feel it till the next day. I laid down and I had bruises places I didn't know he hit me. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I got a bruise here. I got a bruise here. I got blood in this eye. This whole corner of my eye is full of blood. I had bruises on my shoulder. I'm like, damn, we got it on like that? It was like, y'all back, that shit sounded like wreckage back there. Y'all was hitting them cars and moving shit. And that's what I want to hear. It's like, we hit the manager, my manager, landlord, we hit his car and slid that motherfucker. Boom, boom, boom. Bam, we went into the 5.0, boom. Then we, blam, you know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. Back there rocking shit. And that was the second dude I got down with. The other one was a little bitty dude, but the bigger dude fired me up from behind, man. Fired me up from behind. Asked the neighbors. I said, let's get it. Boom, 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 boom. Blam, boom, boom, bam. And I'm not knowing. You know what I mean? And he choked the shit out of me too. He choked me. He had me in I know it wasn't a rear naked. It was he threw me on hooks like bam, like here. He come across here, and not only that, he was strong. I had my arm wedged in here. You see what I'm saying? It was really going up. It was really going up, and that was a cool fight. You know what I mean? Because I was fighting somebody who was actually strong. You know what I'm saying? But the damage that we did, thank God nobody sued us. You know what I'm saying? The lady came to my door with her mirror. She had her mirror. Then the other dude's like, I ain't no punk, man. You know what I mean? You guys bust my windshield. He's like, I don't know which one of you guys it is. That's why I ain't saying. But he's like, you guys moved my car over a little bit. My landlord came. My landlord came. He was like, Butch, what the fuck? He's like, you come to my house, you were covered in blood, and I'm asking, did you fight? And you said no, but you're covered in blood, Butch. He was like, I let you in my house. I was like, yeah, that's because they called the police. You know what I'm saying? They called the police. He's like, my whole car was slid. You guys hit my shit and like, you guys in that 5.0, man. I don't even know how that's 5.0. It's still right there. We hit all. If you had a Hyundai, it was moved. You know what I mean? Boom, 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 boom. I'm only 5'11", 263 pounds. 5'11", 263 pounds. I wasn't 263 pounds when me and old boy got in. I was like 215. You know what I mean? Man, I was on his ass, but boy, he gave it back. Because when he hit me from back, boom, mechanics. You heard the kids upstairs like, ooh, like mechanics. One of the kids when he fired me up, I instantly, that's what practice come in at. Practice make perfect. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to teach you so you can know. You know what I'm saying? So boom, and then short and plainly, man, nigga don't turn down nothing, man. You summons me. And I'll turn your cameras on. I want this because if I lose, I want to know how I lost. That's how I'm looking at it. But the other person they want to live that lie. I don't let you live that lie. See, now what we're going to cover right now is y'all my audience. You know, y'all my audience. And I'm the cheapest podcaster you can find. All that, nobody bigger than the program talk. All the people talking about ain't nobody bigger than the program. Let me explain something to you. I was a youngster. You could deny it, and I'll go to the source, whoever it is, anybody. And I don't want no phone calls about I didn't know. If you didn't know, then you didn't know. But this is factual for me. I'm the person on the phone. So Blue is live. Avalon Blue is live, and he's live, and he's just doing him. He's working on the park. They building the park. See, this is the time when they were building South Park. See, South Park had a makeover. Blue is a real Avalon because he actually helped build whatever new buildings is there. Like he got the gloves on and actually working and actually doing shit. He got shot on live. Y'all don't remember that because y'all don't pay attention to shit. Who you think shot him? It wasn't no niggas from Gilbert Lindsay Park. It wasn't no 30 Rules, and it wasn't no BSVs, and it wasn't no Broadways, and it wasn't no East Coasters, and it wasn't no Florencias, and it wasn't no 38th Street boys, and it wasn't no Hangout boys. It wasn't no 41st Street locos. It wasn't nobody. Vadio Mojado wasn't 55th Bunch. It wasn't 50th Street gang. It wasn't no other hood but his own hood that shot him in the leg. I sampled that incident and put it on a track. If you go to one of my SoundClouds, you can hear the track, or I'll put the track up and let you hear it. I sampled the live, because he was live when he got shot. He got shot by one of his own homies. He got shot by one of his homeboys in broad daylight, like right now. What time is it? He got shot at like 1 o'clock, 1:30, something like that, in the middle of the park that he was working on. He was it's hard working on the boulevard these days. Remember when he said that? Oh, it's hard working on the boulevard these days. Gunshot wound to the leg. You know what I'm saying? Hard working on the boulevard these days. All that DP shit, nobody bigger than the program. He just got shot in the middle of the park in the leg. He was finna get shot somewhere else had he had the right answers didn't come out, or had the people that might have been there. He got shot by somebody from that community. I'm not gonna tell you who did the shooting, because that's some stuff you're not supposed to do. That's something I'm not supposed to do that. But don't be running around thinking that that people get a DP. Somebody gonna fuck around and get hurt. You kids, y'all leave that DP shit alone. If you running around doing shit to people that you ain't supposed to be doing, or you just running around saying fuck people, you do what you want to them, God gonna get you. God gonna get you, because I'm gonna explain to you how God works. Because the non-believer don't understand about God. The people that believe in God are gonna do God's work for him. So there's gonna be somebody that really, really believes in God and that's devoted to God, and they're gonna see somebody that's really in trouble and really needs something, and that person's gonna do it. Because God sent that person, because that's a person that believes in God. That's how God works. His believers do his work. His believers do his work. The human beings that believe in him do God's work for him. So you got to find somebody that really, really love God and heart is really with God. And if you're hungry, you will have groceries. If you're thirsty, you will have something to drink. If you don't have nowhere to go, somebody gonna help you get somewhere. But it has to be somebody that believes. That's the only way God's word gets done. Gabriel don't come down here like that. When I say come, he can't just help you when he got to be somewhere else. God can't be everywhere at one time. So he needs his believers to do the work. And that's how God works. So if you're running around like, nigga, I do what I want to, somebody gonna pay you a visit, whether they hit you. But here's how God works. You're gonna get hit up bad, but you're gonna survive the situation. That's God's first warning to you. Now, hey, look, you might want to change your mentality a little bit, little brother. You know what I mean? You know, the karma can be swift. You know what I mean? Karma can come in the form of somebody that your justice just came in the form of a 5'11" black man that's 263 pounds. Yeah, that man was trying to unalive you. What happened? Shit, you got a bad attitude. You believe you fuck everybody. I do what I want to people. You could care less of the damage you cause with your mouth and how greedy you are. Okay, now I'm sitting here typing to Blue while he live. That's how I was able to record the incident. Blue in the middle of the park, and I can talk about Blue because I don't have nothing negative to say about Blue. I learned now. Do I hang out with Blue? I stopped messing with Blue after the 600 situation. Like after the 600 situation, and then me and Blue was playing around online one time, and then a whole bunch of side busters got in our conversation, and I told Blue, hey, them niggas ain't big enough and they light in the ass. You need to tell them to stay out of our conversation. You know what I mean? Because I was telling Blue, this is what I was telling Blue to tell his little homies. Hey man, tell them niggas want to get it, let's get down. You know what I mean? That's what I told Blue. Like, tell them niggas let's get down, and I want the cameras running. Nah, niggas like, oh, they had a whole bunch of nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? And we the same age. Me and the niggas that I was talking about getting down with, me and Blue ain't the same age. See, Blue ran with my big homie. Blue ran with my cousins. You know what I mean? Blue was like, he's like a big homie to me. So, Blue know what kind of conversations we had. But when the side busters chimed in, when I say side busters, I'm not calling them busters. Just what they did was called side busting. You know what I mean? I'm not calling them directly busters. You know what I'm saying? But they do engage in buster activity periodically. Nobody's perfect. And what transpired happened to be some buster activity. Like, that's some stuff that you don't be doing. That was pretty lame. Like, me and Blue over here, we doing what we doing, and then you chime in. You shouldn't have did that. Like, you and then they used words that shouldn't have came out their mouth. Like, oh man, we tried to replace you with Winther and some other stuff like that, and that's not how that go. You can't just boot a nigga off and not do nothing to the nigga. You got to you can't just boot a nigga peacefully. There's no way you can boot a nigga off the set peacefully. Either you know what I mean? Either you beat his ass, tell his ass not to come around, or you do something to him. Other than that, you just leave him alone, and what your opinion is what your opinion is. So some of that came out of a nigga mouth. I tell Blue, okay, hey, since we gonna get to the gist of it, nigga, let's shake it. You know what I mean? Blue like, oh, you know what I mean? And then the other nigga, his cousins and his whole family get involved. That's the stuff Cartoon be talking about. When people got one of them big old families from the set. So his cousins had something to say and some more shit, not knowing that I'm not gonna hurt your feelings, but I will hurt your feelings. A lot of you niggas y'all can't do life. A lot of you niggas, y'all not built to do life in prison. Y'all know good and well you niggas can't live in there 10 years. A lot of you niggas can't even do 5 years. And that's coming from somebody who's done more than 5 years at one time. I'm talking about, I did a stretch. You know what a stretch is? A stretch is a damn near, I did a decade, close to a decade. I was a year shy of a decade. I was 1 year shy of a decade. You know what I'm saying? Now, 15 years is a stretch. It's damn near, 20 years and up. 20 years is a life sentence. 20 years and up is a life sentence. But you got a stretch, and then you got a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you niggas can't do that type of time, and I learned that from doing time with y'all. I learned that you guys can't, so when y'all be talking, y'all just be talking, and then when the shit hit the fan, the truth come out like you niggas really ain't built like that. You know what I'm saying? So all that bigger than the program shit, that shit is selective politicking. Let's get that shit straight. Because Cartoon ain't never got a discipline before. Cartoon ain't never been DP'd, not one time. Cartoon is 60 years old. A 60 year old Sasquatch of a man. This man he keeps saying he's 6'2". I'm like, man, I've been studying big people all my life. You gotta be about 6'4", 6'5". But he say he's 6'2". You know what I'm saying? And he's massive. This man is a massive man, but he's 60, right? He's 60. But he's smart enough to know when to be in the park and when not to be in the park. Because a lot of niggas get killed over there, and a lot of niggas don't be there to get killed. You know what I'm saying? I believe we covered that, but we covering, somebody keeps saying, nobody bigger than the program, nobody bigger than the program. Whose program is this? Because I'm for damn sure not sure about none of these programs. I'm finna air this shit out today because I do want my channel to blow up, but I don't want no sucker shit on my channel, and I don't want no phonies coming from, bad terminology. I don't want no weirdos coming for me on no podcast because they got, they didn't spend some money on their cameras and whatnot. I don't want none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want any of that because I'm gonna air you down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna air you down bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna air you down bad. You know what I mean? When I say air you down, you could be from one of them big old gangs that in my hood real small, but guess what? I done seen the big old gangs get creamed by smaller gangs. I done seen Crips no match for the Bloods on the yard. Like, I kind of just look. I was so disappointed in Crip at one time. At one time, I was so disappointed in Crip, and they don't want me to talk about it. And I'm gonna say this. Whenever watch this. Whenever your hood get into it with a powerful ass enemy, a strong ass enemy, watch how your hood break off into sections. They'll break off into crews. instead of just being one organization. The key word is organization. Instead of being one big organization, they'll start branching off into groups. These are the real ones, the ones willing to risk their freedom and the rest of their life to go take care of something, and that's just a small group. Then here you got the money getters, and then you got these ones, and then you got these ones, and then you got these ones. Instead of just all having one somebody got to be the head. And there's got to be a body. And then that force goes over there and take care of business the same way they came over here and take care of business. If you put a mirror in front of your enemy, it'll stop the fight. It'll stop any fight. Mike Tyson in his prime, before he became the champion. Remember the first time he got his first championship belt. If you put a mirror in front of him and tell him to fight that person, that's going to be one hell of a fight. Picture Evander Holyfield in his prime. 20 years old, just got the belt. Now put a mirror in front of him and tell him, fight that person. Fight that person. And I want y'all to get down. That's going to be a hell of a fight. You don't think Evander Holyfield ain't going to be fighting? Because the person he's fighting, what's happening? Man, they going to be moving heaven and earth, don't you think? Most people can't take that type of pressure. It's cool to put in work, but get caught and do life? No. A lot of people can't die in prison. See, you on the streets right now, you don't mind dying because you living it up. You living. But if you put you in a cell and you know you going to die in that cell, like you going to grow and die right here, you ain't going nowhere else. That ain't much of a living, is it? And that's why all these niggas just be running their damn mouth. You know what I mean? And then they be saying whatever they want to say, and then you turn it into that, and that's, I wasn't going to let that happen to me. So when me and Blue was playing around, because Blue is my big homie, you know what I'm saying? Because they was like, oh man, what's up with Blue? And then they side busted. And I told, hey, Blue, tell them, man, me and you playing. Tell them, man, you didn't have no business even saying that to me. Blue said he had to talk to him because they didn't know. You see what I'm saying? They didn't know. And I ain't forgave him for that. You said some stuff they said this stuff online. It was on Instagram in the comments of what me and Blue was doing. You know what I mean? Now Blue, he been under a lot of fire, but he laid low and ducked the smoke and resurfaced. That's how the internet is. The internet is 101. The internet 100, people nothing. You know what I'm saying? So Blue is in the middle of the park working on the park. He is not just hanging out in the park. Blue helped build that park. So if you see a tree planted here, some bushes planted here, some benches here, Blue actually did that. You see what I'm saying? Now, what role Blue played with the grid, I didn't know nothing about grid. You could ask Cartoon, because I asked Cartoon what was grid, but I found out what grid was from 600. I learned what grid was from the Rolling 60s 600. 600 from 60 from Neighborhood Crip. I didn't know what grid was. He was going through something with somebody that had grid with him. Like he pulled up to get down and the dude came with grid. And I'm like, I thought grid was a clique of Crips or a clique of like the east, like in between the west, like over there off of Broadway somewhere, like in between, like Maine somewhere. So I'm like, oh, he came with some grid niggas. What's grid? He like, man, those are grid workers. They work for the police. They the intervention workers. I said, oh, wait a minute. Intervention? I immediately asked the homie. I was like, hey, homie, what's grid? He said, I don't know what grid is. I heard about it. I said, is it gang intervention? He's like, I don't want. Let me call you back and let me see. The homie's like, yeah, that's the gang. I said, the homies that do intervention is grid? So I'm like, okay, the homies doing grid in the park. I'm like, okay, wow. I had no clue I had no clue. Had no knowledge of it. I thought grid was a gang that pulled up with, when 600 wanted to get down, whoever he was finna get out, I believe he was finna get down with Spider Loke or somebody. And he said somebody brought grid workers. Not grid workers, he said, you brought the grid with you, nigga, and this and that. I'm like, is that a clique? What's grid? They in between Maine and something else. I'm like, okay, that might be Maine, over there off of Maine, cause Spider Loke from the East Coast. You know what I mean? But they neighbors. So I'm like, okay, these must be some neighborhood niggas. So he said, cause Big U be with him too. Nah, he said they informants and some other stuff, man, and they work, this is the truth. There are people who are allowed to make money and deal the business and help the detectives in LA solve unsolved mysteries. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say this. Training Day is not a lie. Training day is something you could go off of. Remember when he said, oh, is that one of your informants? He said, no, teammates. We don't call them informants, they teammates. I sprung his mom from INS, so in return, he gives me all the little info, he gets to peddle a little reefer, take care of his family. I sprung his mom from INS. So in return, old boy gives the detectives all the information he needs. Like, man, can you get my dad out of INS? I'll tell you whatever you want to know, man. Where it's at, where it's stashed at. If you could just keep it off the grid and just, you know what I'm saying, get my dad back. Who killed little Pee Wee off of 38? Man, it was such and such and such and such. Man, I know you already had that information. He said, yeah, but what they do with the gun, man, usually when a black person probably got that gun somewhere in the valley somewhere. It went out of their hands that fast. You know what I mean? Who's stupid enough to get caught with you know what I mean? People keep saying that them two did it, man, and that yeah, but that's who did it. Well, cool, man. Let me get these. You know where his girls stay? One of his girls still stay in their hood. And then another girl, she stay in San Isidro. You know, that type of information, that they give that type of information up. You know what I mean? There are dudes around there, not just in that whole facility of in that bull crap. They work for them. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man, let's not play stupid. You know what I mean? Let's not play stupid. That's what's going on. A homeless person ain't gonna be the informant. You wanna know why? That person that's sleeping on the ground right there, don't you think he needs some money and he needs some food? Don't you think so? Some powerful stuff right here. And I'm trying not to scare you. If you've ever, listen, people ask, is the Gorilla family real? There are some old cats that belonged to that in correctional facilities. Do you know what black revolutionary concepts are about? You don't have a clue what being a real revolutionary concept is. Giving your life and your freedom are small prices to pay for your skin tone. Like for my people, I'll give my life and my freedom any moment, any second. I'll be talking that shit, but on the moment of truth, when it comes time to die or be incarcerated for the rest of my life, kind of soft shoe it a little bit. You ever done that? Yeah, it's quite natural because, you know what I mean? Not every man has that kind of courage, but there are people that do. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize that liberation is a part of all these gangs. You belong to a gang, which is supposed to be an organized group, a family. But y'all disorganized and y'all liberals. You sell weed, he do this. He don't even make money with you. He make money with Bloods before he make money with you. This dude, he make money with East Coasters before he make money with you. He hang with the Hoovers and get money. Y'all don't even be in the same place to help one another. Like this nigga homeless and he belong to y'all. Like he can hang in the daytime, but when nighttime come, he goes somewhere else and try to look for a place to stay. But he belong to what y'all belong to. That is the reason y'all organization ain't shit. You ain't never met an Aryan Brotherhood member who was homeless and it was some other Aryan Brotherhoods right here and they got houses where he could live. That organization don't work that way. If he's a good Aryan Brotherhood, he ain't no rat, he ain't snitching, he didn't punk out, he stayed true to the code, he's gonna have a place to stay. He's gonna have a floor to sleep on or a bed to be in, but he's not gonna be homeless. And he gonna make money with them before he make money with somebody else. So most black organizations are disorganizations because everybody's a liberal. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, y'all liberals. Now, what happens was if there's ever a collective that starts sticking together and instead of being liberated, the police step in and disorganize it because they can't have organized crime anymore. There's no more, after the mob, the families and the Sicilians and all of that was going on in American soil, they came up with all that stuff to disorganize all these gangs with infiltration and plants, and then people who are from the inside, the nucleus, with enough money, you could pay them to fuck over their own kind and assassinate their own kind. And that's what you're dealing with. Now, I'm on the live with Blue. Blue gets shot on the live. He didn't show, let me repeat. Blue did not show who shot him. Blue said, hold on, and got shot. And got shot. Right there. This is only a few years ago. And then I sampled the live. I took that, you know what I mean? I made a track, and it sure is hard working on the boulevard these days. This is what Blue said, and I quote, sure is hard working on the boulevard these days. Gunshot wound to the leg. Man, I tell you, that's because one of the homies shot him. I'm not going to tell you what that was about. I'm not going to tell you what it was over, but the person that shot him in the leg, he didn't get a DP, and he was way bigger than the goddamn program, if you ask me. So what program was he on? You know, ain't nobody bigger than the program. That's why I be like, man, that's a bunch of bullshit as far as I'm concerned. No disrespect to nobody, but you just got shot on live. Are you forgetting this? Yeah, and I sampled it and put it on the track. If you ever want to go to one of my things, if you ask me to put it up, if you ask me to put the song up, I'll put it up. I'll go to my SoundCloud and put it up because it's an older song. You know what I mean? I want to say it happened around 2016. 2017, Blue just got shot. It might be 2020, but I was on the live talking to Blue because when your homies go live, you want to support them like they got a whole bunch of people watching. So, you know, you go in there, what's up, you know, so they can be in the algorithm. You know what I mean? Keep the algorithm up. That's what most homies are supposed to do. Because Blue trying to eat, he trying to blow his stuff up. Boom. He gets shot. It's sure it's hard working on the boulevard these days. You know what I'm saying? Gunshot wound to the leg. I'm not going to let you blame the 43rd Street 4-pack. 4-pack ain't did none of that dude. He got shot by one of the homies. He got popped by one of the homies in the park, and he know what that's about. And it wasn't about no snitching. It was about something else. Huh? You need help? Hold on. What's wrong? You can't get your door open? Oh my goodness.
For some reason my street works and then sometimes it don't.
Hold on.
Thank you.
My key does the same thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I thought it was only me.
No, hold on. Ooh. No. Here you go.
There you go. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You all right?
Appreciate it.
You got you a little taste?
Yeah. Hey.
Huh?
What do you do later? Do you go to get something to eat?
Later on, yeah.
Stop at my door. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want something from the hat.
You want something from the hat? You want me to go get it? I'll get you something. I'll get you something.
But you busy?
I probably won't leave here for till about 4.
Okay, just give me pastrami.
All right.
All right?
All right.
You sure?
I'll be back.
Need the money?
Yeah. You want me to go get it right now?
You're busy.
Nah, come on. I'll walk over there and get it right now for you.
You sure?
Oh, sure. I got you. You want a pastrami?
Yeah.
All right. And what you doing? Look at you. Look at you. You a little fat thing. You ain't missed no meal. You ain't missed no meal. Shouldn't you be hungry? Look at you. Yeah, she ain't missed not a meal.
That's only like 14 something.
What all do you want on everything?
Light mustard,
Light mustard,
little pickles,
little pickles.
and if they could chop up the meat.
Okay, chop up the meat.
Yeah, more
Right.
than, you know how they give it to you in big pieces.
Okay, yeah, and just have it all. Yeah.
How about do it back in here? Oh.
We're gonna take a trip to the hat. I got you.
Thank you.
Light mustard, little pickles, and chop your meat up.
Yeah.
All right. Come on. You want a soda? You want a Coke? Okay, got you. See the little lady? See her back there? Little bitty lady. Little bitty lady, see her? Come on. Bum, bum, bum. And somebody trying to, I'm gonna buy a motorbike. Reason why I said that, because it's already, it's nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop this. I used to not say nothing, but the reason I'm saying something is because I'm 49 and, you know, somebody like, nigga, you nah, hell no. You don't need no bike, nigga. You don't need no bike. Yeah, where was we at? Nobody bigger than the program. Somebody is bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? The bigger the cap, the bigger the fucking pilot. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, y'all get on the internet and y'all get on the internet and be like, et cetera, so forth. La-di-di-di-di. Nobody bigger than the program. Such will get checked. Hey, man, I watch what I say on here, because if I say something, I'll tell you beforehand. I don't know how true it is, or I'll be like, this was told to me or taught to me. With, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Blue got shot on live, and that's crazy that y'all brains are little bitty filing cabinet. Your brain is a filing cabinet full of information. But when a nigga asks y'all certain shit, y'all don't be knowing what the hell be going on. I be like, these motherfuckers is some weirdos. Or, no offense, no disrespect, money don't mean you not no buster. You could pull up in the hottest car and whatnot and be a whole bitch. Let's just keep that a band. Money don't make you no solid ass gangster. You probably made some good financial decisions. A lot of you niggas' parents got money. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or you could hit a lick. You know what I'm saying? Or you could be one of the biggest fake motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like, is your jewelry real? I mean, shit. Is it transparent? Is my jewelry real? If you could go pawn your jewelry and get some money for it, then it's real. Because the pawn shop not gonna take no fake jewelry. And now if you ever robbed somebody for some fake jewelry, I know you somewhere feeling really bad right now, like, you know, and then you went to jail for the fake jewelry. Shit, man, you got to feel like a goofball. But anyway, man, it's getting close to the hour mark, right? So, y'all, like I said, a lot of stuff Cartoon can't talk about. He's not comfortable talking about it. You know, like Blue, he wouldn't have been comfortable talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I have nothing bad to say about Blue. Them side buses that chimed in, that wasn't cool. I didn't deserve that. You know, I didn't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? You know, we not, no disrespect. It's a saying that go, you're not a 6-0 until you kill a 6-0. We are not 6-0s. And I don't agree with that philosophy. Killing a nigga that's supposed to be my friend. If we from the same hood and we ain't friends, nigga, what kind of goofy shit is this? This is goofy. And anytime something goofy, you could just run through it. Like I could fuck over these pack of people. Like, you know, in my teenage days, I'm glad I got caught and went to prison, because it made me learn about how things were supposed to be, the information that I didn't have, the total knowledge that I didn't have. You know, man, I learned so much in that place, you know. Man, you'll be amazed. But you know, there's always that person that wants to turn that into capitalism. And if you know anything about revolutionaries, them and capitalists don't get along. A capitalist revolutionary, you can't really name me two capitalist revolutionaries. That's because they oppose capitalism. Anybody that's for several businesses and several corporations and you want to be a billionaire, you're very much a capitalist. One thing I learned about business is it's a very heartless atmosphere, because a capitalist can't make money giving anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying? A capitalist can't do it. A capitalist can't make money giving anything to anybody. So when you go into a store and you're hungry, and they visibly know you're hungry, they're not gonna give you a piece of bread. They're gonna tell you to get out their store. Now you don't have to feed every homeless person, but at least feed one. They won't even feed one. You're going there, I haven't eaten in 2 days. Get out of my store. Damn, a simple candy bar, one candy bar that's been sitting here and it's old. They won't give it to you. That's a capitalist. That's just a lousy ass capitalist. Now I can hook you up once, but you can't. I'm gonna tell you flat out, spread your hustle. I'm gonna spread your hustle. You gotta spread your hustle. I'm gonna get you together. I'm gonna get you some bread, some tuna, some lunch meat. I'll give you a bag, especially if it's my store. I'm gonna follow them around. Get what you want. You good? All right. Don't ask me no more. I'm only doing this once. Next time, come with some money. Now, if you come with some money, I'll double you up. If you come back with some money, I'll double you up. But after that, man, you're gonna have to spend something. All right? Now, that's me as a revolutionary doing that for my people. You know what I'm saying? A capitalist won't. So there's gonna be a beef and a conflict between the capitalists and a real podcaster and my cheap podcast. You know what I mean? They'll discredit a nigga. You know what I mean? Now all these fights that they got going on, why you think they only letting certain people in? Probably because there's some niggas that probably ain't no real niggas like that. Maybe, hold on. Who are you to keep somebody out? Either get in with the nigga or don't. That's turning down a fade. And then they say, oh, well, man, I'm trying to fight for a bag. No, what they trying to do is get some dollars out of y'all to watch a fight that ain't even a fight. You ever watch pay-per-view and pay for a fight and you was like, the fuck was this? Excuse my language. What the hell was this? Oh, man, this is weird. Oh, man, I just wasted $95 on this shit and you can't get no refunds. You be mad as hell. With black people, we chime in on that type of shit. We think that shit cool. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't cool. That shit ain't even cool. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't cool. But it's power to the people and, you know, be an influencer and some more goofy shit. Now we spoke on the Blue thing. Blue is Blue a snitch? Let me ask you a question. And this is just my honest opinion. It's a very fine line between trying to save the youth and working with the police. It's a very fine line. It's a very fine line. Now, if he was a snitch, what y'all gonna do? Don't depend on me to do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you one thing right now. I don't live on Blue Street. Blue doesn't hang with me like that. Blue doesn't come to where I live when I'm down there. He don't stop by like that. You know what I mean? So let's just say, why does Blue know all y'all business? Because y'all let him in on what y'all doing. Y'all took him around what y'all be doing. So if you get snitched on, that's on your dumb ass. You would have learned that if you did a stretch. Instead of PCing up and wiggling around and trying to maneuver and be all for self and all that bullshit, you would have learned right then and there on a level 4 institution. If you ever been to one, level 3, you would have learned. if you even have an inclination that somebody is snitching, you don't invite them to your house. You don't tell him how you make your money. You don't introduce him to the plug. You watch what you say around him. That's if you think that that's what he's into. If you think that's what he's into, if you think that he's compromised, then you do not share any information that is how you maintain your survival. You be very careful what you say to him. You know what I mean? That way, what he has no information on you. Like, to my knowledge, I ain't never seen him do this. In court, he be lying. If any of his information, recordings, or reports come to court, he'd be lying because I've never taken him to my house. He'd be asking people where I live, but he's never been to my house. You've never been to my house. You've never been inside my house. You ask how I got my car, you know I make payments on it. Because my paperwork's in the glove compartment, right? You know where I work at because I have a job. I've never introduced you to any of my plugs or my resources. Unless I got it from a homie, like I bought this car from a homie, I bought this gun from a homie, I bought this jewelry from a homie, I bought this from a homie. That's the only reason he would probably know some information like that. But if he's got the reputation of being that, why would he even be in on that information? Why would you even do any business around it? Why would you even do anything like that? But you learn this in the pen. You learn that directly in the pen. That's some of the things you learn. Like your first week. Lizard, come here, little lizard. I should keep you. Bam, that's what you learn. So if you think he is that, y'all sure still be letting him hang out. Y'all still let him be in the middle of shit. Y'all still have him at all the parties and picnics. So he's not, I'm gonna say this, I don't think he is. And if he was, I think y'all okay with that. You have to be okay with it to have him around. So let's get past all of that. That's bullshit. Here's the meat and potatoes. Now, Cartoon is never comfortable talking about this. He's never comfortable talking about it. To my little viewers, you always want to know stories about Crazy Ray. Crazy Ray this, Crazy Ray that. Toon, tell us some more stories about Crazy Ray. Come on, Toon, tell us some more stories about you and Crazy Ray. If you paid attention, Crazy Ray was like a brother to Cartoon. But we never talk about who killed Crazy Ray. The man that killed Crazy Ray is still over there. He hangs frequently. He's standing right there when Cartoon pulls up. Get a fucking clue. Get a clue. The man that allegedly killed Crazy Ray, or did, because this happened in front of everybody. Crazy Ray's unaliving was a serious unaliving. You want to know why? Crazy Ray has a reputation, or had a reputation, that that's a man you do not fuck with. That man is all about business. The person that did that to him was scared of him, like everybody else that was over there scared of him. I'm not ashamed to admit that there's people that scare people. Like, you know what I mean? There are people that fear. I feared this particular person. I didn't fear Crazy Ray because he's before my time. I didn't get to meet him. But Cartoon, I don't fear Cartoon. I love Cartoon too much. I respect the hell out of him. I don't fear Cartoon, I respect him. I respect Cartoon. It would really hurt me, like, you know, on some sucker shit, man. Like, because I'm not going to play with you, you know what I'm saying? But then again, look where I'm getting all my stuff from. You know, look, my family is different. My family ain't no regular family. My family is terrible. You know what I mean? But those are the cards I was dealt, you know what I'm saying? People can't help who their mom is. Like, any child can't help who their parent is. You know what I'm saying? You can't help who your mom is. You can't help who your father is. You can't even help who your grandmama is. Like, these are the people that I got. Now, how am I gonna survive and make this work? I just am. You know what I mean? And I have no other choice but to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, people always say, oh, these are the cards that I was dealt. Shit, they dealt me the cards. I got up from the table. I said I didn't want to play. And that's what I did. These are the cards I'm dealt? Yeah, man, and you got to play. No, I don't. Yeah, you got to play. You already dealt the cards. And if I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing these cards. Because I'm not playing this. You know what I mean? I refuse to play the cards I was dealt. So I got to make my way the best way I know how. And I'm going to be 50 this year. I'm still alive. You know what I mean? I still got all my fingers and my toes. You know what I mean? I can run. I can jump. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm still in the process of building right now. A lot of y'all be like, what fuel do you use when you work out? You got a lot of influencers on YouTube. Larry Wheels and Teron Beckham. Teron Beckham and Larry Wheels. I go to Teron Beckham for athleticism and strength, and then I go to Larry Wheels for brute power and brute strength. You know what I mean? So I combine the two. I combine Larry Wheels with Teron Beckham. Teron Beckham is an explosive, powerful athlete. You know what I'm saying? But Larry Wheels is one of the strongest, powerful lifters there is. You know what I'm saying? I combine those two, and you know, I do exactly as they do, but they're a lot stronger than I am. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like right now I'm working out with 315. Like I'm only a foot away from 405. Like I don't need no spot. I just work out with 405. I don't need a spot. Like 315 though, I just be sitting there and then the people just get around me. Like if you can hit 315 10 times, you know what I mean? And that's with no supplements. I'm not on creatine and I'm not on pre-workout. I'm giving my body a reset, you know what I'm saying? Because I started to become immune to it. So I was taking all of the stuff, but not really, you know what I'm saying? Not feeling it like I was feeling it. So I mixed those two with that, but I'm gonna go pick up some Shilajit, pick up some more beets. What is it? It's like beet gummies for your heart and your blood flow and your oxygen. And then I'm gonna get a pre-workout on top of the creatine. So that's creatine. I use creatine monohydrate. The other one puts too much water gain, too much water retention. Your face starts looking, you get that double chin look. You know what I mean? And your muscles get the doughy look. You have that doughy look instead of being like chiseled. So you get the creatine monohydrate. Boom. You know what I mean? And that is this week. So that's gonna be about 90 something bucks for the beet juice, for the beet gummies, the Shilajit, the creatine. Oh yeah, and a 1-a-day vitamin. I use the Mega Man Sport 1-a-day vitamin. That's good for somebody my age. I'm 49. I'll be 50. That 1-a-day vitamin, the multivitamin does feel kind of good. You know what I'm saying? You do feel the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my Johnson, you know what I'm saying? He works. I don't have to take Viagra and I don't have to take honey packs. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm on enough, vitamin supplements. Like, you know what I mean? I only had a cold once a year. You know what I mean? I only might catch a cold once a year, maybe once every 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's because of my lifestyle with the vitamins. Parasites in your gut, you got to do a gut reset. I found out if you fast for 2 days and then drink 3 shots of gin, fast for 3 days and then drink 3 shots of gin. Whatever worms you had in your gut is going to be gone. It's going to be gone because those parasites can't survive in vodka and gin. Now you can take those other little things, those detoxes or whatever, but man, you're going to be on the pot for hours and days. You know what I mean? That's one thing, having to go to work and then having to boo-boo the whole day at work, they'll mess around and send you home and you ain't going to get paid for the day. Yeah, because you spend most of your time in the bathroom boo-booing. So you get paid by the hour. You know what I'm saying? That's why it ain't too cool taking up those type of antioxidants and all of that, those detoxes and whatnot. Yeah, that's out. But Yeah, Cartoon don't talk about it because, it's probably difficult for him to talk about. I could talk about it. The person that unalived Crazy Ray is over there because Crazy Ray was unalived by his own community. His own hood killed him. Crazy Ray was killed by his own homie, by his own hood, in his hood, in front of everybody. Now, Cartoon has a right to be upset about that, and Cartoon has a right to look at people like, how could you just stand there and allow it? Cartoon has a right to do that. But as they say, nobody's bigger than the program. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's bigger than the program. The people that's saying that, they really, really need to reevaluate the program. You know what I mean? You really, 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 really need to reevaluate the program. And the reason I'm saying that is because I used to frequently be with the person in my teenage years, like from 16 to 24. I was around the person that unalived Crazy Ray. Because he's a big homie. Like, he's a G homie that is full of information. He's been banging since the 70s. Like, he was banging since 77, 78? Since 78. It's a real, and maneuvering around there, man, and ain't no punk. You know what I mean? Well, he ain't no punk to people who are not on the same social status as this individual. Now, Cartoon ain't gonna think highly of this person. Certain other people ain't gonna think highly of this person. But other people, like I said, it's a very fine line between respect and fear. Respect look just like fear. I know the difference. I definitely know the difference. I don't want to scare too many people. I don't want to scare too many people. And if you scare the wrong person, you'll get shot. You'll get shot real quick and fast, and you'll probably die. You know what I'm saying? That's you don't want to scare too many people. You know what I mean? You just don't. You know what I mean? Respect is sort of like this. I know you over there. I'm not even gonna go over there because I know what type of time you on. I know what type of time I'm on. And if we meet up in between, then so be it. But as long as we keep it respectful, you know what I mean? Damage will be minimal. You know what I'm saying? But when somebody's scared of somebody, really scared of somebody, that could go really, really bad. This is a terrible thing. Like, let's just say somebody was around the corner, like it's something around the corner. It's a dude around the corner, and he terrorizes. People are terrified of him. I'm only gonna be scared of him for about a week or two. Man, if he come across me and trip, I'm gonna shoot him all the way down to the ground. Yeah, because I'm not gonna be scared of nobody like that. You know what I mean? My mama didn't raise me that way. I can't have something around there that terrifies me like that. You know what I mean? I definitely can't go over there. If he's over there, then I know I can't go over there. So I'm gonna do my part. But what if he's not over there this day? He's at the gas station that I gotta go to, or what if he's inside of the grocery store and I gotta go to the grocery store? How's this gonna work? I can't keep running from this dude. I might as well just leave the town. I might as well just leave the city. Like, you know what I mean? But what happens if there's somebody like that in every city? I'm just gonna be running and you can't keep running away. Can't keep running away. You can't keep running away. Can't keep running away. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem with you, man, but guess what? I want my daughter to look up to me. So I'm gonna do something to you so I can hold my head high. You know what I mean? Man, your daddy's a punk. You can't prove it by me. Your daddy be messing with homosexuals in jail. You can't never prove that. You know what I mean? Can't prove that by me. You can't prove it. That's the easiest way to get shot or beat up talking to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, your daddy a buster. Yeah, now you gotta prove it. Oh, nigga, what's up? Hey, there it is. There. You see, people will call you a snitch till you do something to them, and then they calling the police putting you in jail. So I guess I wasn't a snitch then, huh? You won. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know how to play the game. Play the game. Oh, they say that fool is snitching. As soon as you go over there and do something to him, and you in jail, now who's the snitch? You see what I'm saying? I thought I was snitching. You know what I mean? I thought I was snitching. Y'all don't even know how to play the game. I'll be like, man, this is the biggest bunch of bullshit, gangs and all of this shit. It looks scary because it's a whole bunch of dudes doing the same shit. You know what I mean? It's about 30 of them over there, and all 30 of them gonna tell and put your ass in jail, you do something to their ass. They ain't gonna stick to the code. Why you think we have so many prisons in California? Why you think they're so overcrowded in California? Because people be telling on them. What you in here for? I'm in for murder. Who told on y'all? The dude is dead. The victim didn't tell, somebody else did. If you kill another gang member, how you go to jail? So if a Hell's Angel kill a Mongo right now, how did he end up in jail? Because I'm not gonna tell on his ass. I'm gonna get my food and run. That's what the fuck I'm gonna do. If a Hell's Angel jump out right now and shoot some Mongos, I'm gonna run fast as I fucking can out of here. And I'm gonna turn the corner and I'm gonna get to where I'm going and I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna lock the door. And then I'm gonna turn the news on to see if it's on the news. That's what I'm gonna do. Sir, well, we got you on, you got me doing what? Getting my food and hauling ass because I didn't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, how this dude go to jail? Because people be full of crap and they be tattling and it's a bullshit ass lifestyle that nobody want to talk about. And if your son join it, he's joining some bullshit too. That's what it is. That dude should not be in jail for, you don't go to jail for killing gang members. You don't. This is a bad person, a 1%er. This is a 1%er. This is not a person that works at the mail company. This is not a school teacher. This is not a principal. This is not a nurse or a doctor. This is another gang member that you gotta do some violence when you belong to a gang. That means you gotta do some dirt. That's what it's about. You gotta do a little dirt. So how you tell on somebody, that's cool? So it's all bullshit. We've come to that conclusion really fastly. If I could free all them dudes that's in there for doing something to another gang member, I surely would. Give me see the keys. I mean, all you, line it up. You guys are getting out today, all you. Because y'all didn't do something to somebody that didn't have it coming to them. That's why. Now you go ahead and you figure that out. Yeah, but that didn't happen, did it? And y'all still do it to this day. So the next person y'all jump on to this gang, you make sure before y'all kick his butt and tell him he could be from here, you tell him that, you know you're gonna get snitched on and do life. Well, you do anything to anybody over here, you're gonna get snitched on and go to jail for the rest of your life. Oh man, what is this? Nah, man, I'm cool on this. That gang wouldn't have no members. Why do you think the numbers keep growing in every gang? Because you guys are more comfortable with people being rats and informants. That's why the numbers keep going every year. Because it's supposed to stop. Like, if you know this is some bullshit, it's supposed to stop. Like, man, this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Why? What for? I can talk about it because I live it. Shot in the back at 16, medevac, all the way to Martin Luther King, You know what I mean? And I was shot, but I was still ducking bullets at 16. Shot point blank range. The bullet hit me, boom! It knocked me 3 feet. Bam! I did a push-up, got up, left my shoes, and ran across the street, hid behind a brick wall. They're still serving. Boom, 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 boom. Still trying to knock me down. Bullets coming past my head. I was man, should have seen me. But then when I stopped, that's when I started dying. Started dying for real. You know what I'm talking about? Straight started dying, no doubt. You know what I mean? But when that policeman called for that helicopter to come get me, I knew he gave a damn about me. He gave a damn. That dude gave it, that cop gave a damn. Big ass white man, blue eyes, and he was a youngster. He was huge as fuck. He looked like a big old monster. Blonde, he had blonde eyebrows, baby blue eyes. Big ass white dude, young. He said, well, and he stood just like this. And I'm on the ground right there. He flashed his light on me. He said, where you shot at? I said, in my back. He said, I don't see nothing. I said, never mind, man. I said, oh. He said, what happened? I said, man, they started shooting. I didn't get to see him. He said, flashed the light on my face. He said, how old are you? I said, I'm 16. He said, oh, little guy. He said, you're a little guy. I was like, damn, yeah, because you big. He said, damn, partner. I said, man, can you call my mom for me so I could tell her goodbye? And that's when he got shook up. He like, no, I can't call mom for you, man. I said, let me tell her goodbye, man. I just want to get some sleep, man. Let me get some sleep and I'll be cool. He said, no, I can't do that, man. And he shook my hand and he said, you look good, man. I said, I'm dying, ain't I? Just tell me I'm dying. He said, man, no, you're strong, dude. He's like, dude, you're strong, dude. You're all right. You know what I mean? So I didn't come here to play with you. You know what I mean? You want to get it in? Get it in. You know, let's shake it. You know what I mean? Let's shake it. Let's rumble. Let's get it in. You know what I mean? But all that program talk and all that who is snitch and snitch harboring, I'm not harboring no rats. You see me by myself. You see me. I'm not hard to locate. I don't harbor no snitches. And I don't back no wrong. I don't back wrong unless I had to back wrong when it came to family. And the only reason I backed your play is because we're family. If we wasn't family, fuck you. I'm telling you that right now to your face. My mama wouldn't let me not back you. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I backed you is because we family. Other than that, I don't back no wrong. You know what I mean? But the person that killed Crazy Ray is still over there in that community. He doesn't live over there. He pulls up every day. He pulls up every day. The person that shot Crazy Ray, the one that be with Cartoon from the Foundation Nation, it's his homeboy from his hood. Crazy Ray wasn't killed by the villains. He wasn't killed by the 4-pack. Wasn't killed by the Broadways. Wasn't killed by the East Coasters. Wasn't killed by no Hoovers. He was killed by another 5 Trey. Right there at that liquor store too. And I can't tell you the story of how it all went down because I don't have the authority to do so. But Cartoon can't talk about it. He won't talk about it. And it's probably hard for him to talk about, but I could talk about it. Because a lot of y'all be asking them stupid ass questions about Crazy Ray. Crazy Ray was killed by his own. What you are will consume you. Now, whether who was right and who was wrong, those are 2 OGs. And I'm going to tell you, you should actually let them settle it up how they need to settle up because my balls wasn't big enough. I'm just going to keep it a band with you. My nuts ain't that big. You know, Crazy Ray and this individual, and I was a youngster too. My mama probably would have told me to come in the house and I couldn't come out. Especially my auntie. My auntie like, but you get your ass in this house and don't come out. Because that's really not something you're supposed to be around. Keep it a bean with you. That was some serious business. And you see how Cartoon, he cries every time he talks about it. Because that person is still over there. And I believe that what Cartoon loves so much and devoted most of his life to would betray Cartoon if he tries to take care of that situation. Like if you do this to him, they gonna throw him under the bus. And that's more than, I'm just, you know, if we gonna help kids, it's best that kids know this information so they be like, nah, I'm cool on that. And I know God got a place for me somewhere. I know God gonna be like, I remember. You my son, I remember. Cause I ain't do no, I don't, my intentions are good. At the end of the day, the person that unalived Crazy Ray is still over there, right? And it probably some people that don't want nothing to happen to him. Or he would have been gone. Don't you think he would have been gone? He would have been gone. Now, I know the person that unalived Crazy Ray. I didn't know, I knew he had killed a homie, but I didn't know what homie. They never talked about what homie it was, and I used to be around him all the time. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of homies that done, you know what I mean? It's a lot of homies that done unalived another homie. You know what I mean? Like not too long ago, another homie unalived another homie, but they don't come around. Like one of them was a preacher. One of them that did the dirt, he ended up giving his whole life to God, and he's like a real preacher. He went to prison for killing the homie. These two went to prison for killing the homie. One got out and been a preacher, and the other one never comes around. He never comes around. He doesn't even like the homies because they believe the homies told on them about killing the homie. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Is there really a program? It depends on it depends on how they feel that day. They might want to just sock on somebody that day. That's really what that is. They just probably want to, you know, punch on the homie. Have Cartoon discipline a homie or two. Cartoon gonna discipline you when you don't do what you're supposed to do. When you just hanging around and you just hanging around. I'll tell a story without no names. If this particular disorganization comes over here and shoots at your homies, and it's about 10, 15 of y'all outside, and not one of y'all got a gun on y'all, Cartoon gonna want to whoop y'all. He'll slap you. Like, you ever been slapped by a man I've never been slapped unless we were slap boxing. You ever slap box? Yeah, slap boxing, I've been tagged a few times, but just a dude come up and slap me, no, that don't set well with me. You know, Cartoon will slap you. This is a huge man, but his size don't mean nothing. Being slapped is being slapped. Women slap me, like I've been slapped by a girl. My girl, she slapped me like 2 weeks ago. She slapped me pretty hard too. She was drinking. You know what I mean? She was crying and some more stuff. I tried to like just resolve it. She fired my ass up like, wow, like leave me alone. I was like, oh man. And after I pull up, I like, what if I hit you back? You know, I wouldn't be much of a man if I did that, huh? And I said, okay. She's like, well, I'm sorry, you just won't leave me alone. Yeah, she slapped me. You know what I mean? But that's your girl slapping you, or a girl slapping you. You know what I mean? You ever been slapped by a dude? You know what I mean? Like, wham! Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, why you standing here and ain't got no heat on you? Why are y'all here and don't got no heat on you? Man, you subject to get a foot in your ass. And you deserve it. You gonna wait for me to pull up to have it? You know what I'm saying? That's not how this works. I might not go over there today. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what program do y'all be talking about, man? Y'all podcasters get paid $10,000 a month. A lot of you podcasters get paid $10,000 to $20,000 a month to be lying and talking about shit that y'all ain't even into. Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of y'all ain't even finna go to jail at all. Like, if the police pulled y'all over right now, y'all so clean, you jail ain't even in your future. Y'all ain't even finna go to jail no time soon. Some of us got 1 foot in and 1 foot out every 24 hours. You know, like, some of us are carrying guns and ain't even supposed to have a gun. Hey, you ask a police officer why he carry a gun. He'll tell you it's his job. But when he's not on the clock, he'll tell you he's still got a gun on him. I'm carrying it with or without my badge, man. And ask somebody that's military, ex-military that's did a couple of tours. He wants his whole family carrying. My whole family carries. Everybody in my house got a gun. Yeah, exactly. So a lot of these podcasters, either they nerds or the ones that ain't nerds, that are real, like, officially from the streets, they not trying to go back to the pen, so they be maneuvering a certain way. They maneuver like nerds, you know what I mean? But yeah, I can talk about it because Cartoon can't talk about it. The person that killed Crazy Ray is still over there and be over there. He don't just leave when Cartoon be right there. Cartoon be on one side of the hood and he be on the other. Or he'll be in the park and the other person will be in the store parking lot. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't just hobnobbing with each other like that. I mean, that take a lot out of a person. You know what I mean? But Blue got shot on live. When Blue was live at the park, he was live just like this. And I was talking to him when I was typing, and whoever walked up to him, I know who walked up to him because it was the homie. The homie walked up to him and shot him. Right there, he ended the live. He's like, hold on. He ended the live like, bam. You know what I'm saying? I call him up. I'm calling him. He on his way to the hospital. So he go to the hospital. He go live in the hospital on the gurney. He's like, it's hard working on the boulevard these days. Gunshot wound to the leg. He was shot in the leg and some more stuff. I sampled that and put it on the track. And the homie that shot him did not get a discipline, did not get beat up. Matter of fact, this gonna shake you totally up and I'm out. The person that shot Blue in the leg was mad about a particular situation. And Blue name was involved in the situation. But the person that shot Blue, I seen him, Blue, and Blue's baby. He was pushing Blue's baby in the stroller and Blue was walking on the side of it. Blue was walking and talking to him and he was pushing the baby in the stroller because they talked about their differences after the situation. He took a gunshot from another member. You know what I mean? Solid business. You know what I mean? I can't tell you who that person is because that's not how YouTube works. And this just ain't for views, but that's some shit. I mean, my cousin was looking right at it and then it was like, that's the same nigga that shot him in the leg. I said, huh? Yeah, he got shot on live. Y'all don't remember that because a lot of y'all don't be supporting a lot of stuff. When Blue go live, as soon as he go live, I just push the live and finish doing what I'm doing and be working so it could look like he got a lot of viewers. He ended up getting shot. I kid you not.